Hello and welcome to another episode of What the Fuck Moments in Manga and Anime and Webtoons. If there's anything I love more than otome games, it's isekai. So if I happen to find something that melts both of those together, I lose my ever-loving mind. So let's talk about Volume 1 of Villains Are Destined to Die. It took me a while to figure out what kind of viewpoint I wanted to bring this to you in. But if you're familiar with otome games, then you know we typically have a nameless, faceless heroine, which signifies us. And that's kind of what happens here. We get a nameless girl who gets isekai'd into the body of another. So when I refer to this main character as we or us, that's what I mean. We are her. She is us. We're in this together. Okay, so things for us have not been so great since Mother passed away. We're sent to live with our estranged, neglectful father and our horrible half-brother douche canoes. Yeah, they seem to be in a contest to see who can be the shittiest to us. Nothing we seem to do is good enough, and we're always in trouble. Well, now we're in college, and we're free. While winding down in our new apartment, we decide to try a new anime dating game that everyone around us won't shut the fuck up about. It's a decent enough story. A beautiful young lady named either Yvonne or Ivani, I don't know. She finds out that she's the missing daughter of a duke, and she gets reunited with her father and her brothers. And of course, there's a couple of eligible bachelors just kind of loitering about. Well, Yvonne's story, it's a baby cakewalk, so it doesn't take long before we 100% that shit. When you beat normal mode, you unlock hard mode, where you play as Penelope here, who is the duke's replacement daughter. And oh, hard mode? That seems like a bit of an understatement because this shit seems downright impossible. No matter what answers we choose for this route, it seems like every ending ends with Penelope ending up on the business end of something sharp and pointy being wielded about. Which is just like in normal route, but now it's personal. Anyway, we end up getting frustrated, so we go to bed. But we wake up as Penelope. Is it a dream? Are we really in the game? We don't know. It feels very real. But we're also still playing by video game rules, which begs the question, what happens if we get a game over, man? Which is scary enough to think of on its own, but it seems like our predicament is even worse than we originally thought. You see, the game was only showing half of Penelope's real story. There's a lot of sabotage going on behind the scenes. Penelope's two adoptive brothers, and seemingly like every other person in this universe, is out to get us. Everybody's picking at her, provoking her, gaslighting her, and then framing her as the villain. Because apparently the game wants to treat Penelope like she's on MTV's Real World. The camera only seems to zoom in on her when she's flying off the handle. Yeah, just doing the most to paint her in the worst light. Because villains are not born. They are made over time. Literally, any of us could go full Joker if we're unjustly shat upon too many times. So after years of this shit, Penelope's just absolutely fucking mechanic. If she gets provoked, she just starts flipping all the tables. Oh, but you see, the story plops us in right before Yvonne is set to come back to her family. So all these people who have pushed Penelope to the edge are now realizing that they have to protect Yvonne from the monster they have created. Ain't that a big ol' messy bed of fuck around and find out y'all decided to make together? And of course, everybody's love for Mary Sue Yvonne is what leads Penelope to her very unfortunate destinies. Of course, we, as Penelope, do not want to hurt her. So we basically have to convince everybody around us in this game that is literally rigged against us. Which is pretty hard since the game barely even lets us interact with anybody at first. Given a very strict list of answers that we have to choose from only when the game prompts us to. But since we, as Penelope, kind of know what's going on here, we are able to answer with more level head. We have to convince everybody around us that Penelope has decided to grow up and turn over a new leaf by literally choosing what Penelope would never. And everybody doesn't quite know what to do now. They're used to Penelope losing her shit all the time. They don't know what to do when she's on her knees, begging for forgiveness. But things start to work in our favor, and the farther we get, the more the game starts to loosen the rules for us. Now we're able to answer however we wish, which I don't know how that works in game rules. Like suddenly we're talking to an AI or something. I don't know, I guess it doesn't really matter. What does matter is that now that Penelope is watching her temper, those around us can't provoke without now looking like the asshole. As we start to gain literal points with people, our villain's destiny could very well change. And oh, there are so many characters in here that just piss me right the fuck off. I love it.